What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the two new upcoming packages. Part one, the physical infrastructure package, which has now passed in the Senate and will now be moving on to the House of Representatives. And then part two, the next stimulus package, which has been announced at $3.5 trillion, which the Senate is in the process of passing in the Senate, which the Democrats will be passing on their own through the reconciliation process. We will be speaking on that and hearing from Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and the Democrats and the Republicans in this video, as well as daily news, what is going on with our country and what is going on in Washington, D.C. If you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below. I will keep you up to date on everything going on with our country on this channel. Remember, new videos come out here on our channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got a lot to cover, so let's jump right in. Okay, first up, the U.S. is deploying 3,000 troops to help evacuate Afghanistan embassy staff as the Taliban is advancing in kind of an emergency procedure. As you can see, the Biden administration will deploy 3,000 troops to Afghanistan in order to facilitate the drawdown of U.S. personnel at the U.S. Embassy as the Taliban rapidly advances towards the Afghan capital. Quote, this is a very narrowly focused mission on safeguarding the orderly reduction of civilian personnel out of Afghanistan. Adding, the Pentagon expects to increase its airlift capability in the region. Also, Dr. Fauci says that everyone will need a COVID vaccine booster shot sooner or later. And the FDA is currently working on Pfizer and Moderna to authorize a booster shot for certain immunocompromised individuals. Quote, as we mentioned, we are evaluating this on a day-by-day, week-by-week, month-by-month basis, looking at any number of studies, both international and domestic studies, Dr. Fauci says. If the data shows us that, in fact, we do need to do that, we'll be ready to do it and do it expeditiously. Now here is Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer on the partial passage of Part 2, the next stimulus package, the $3.5 trillion stimulus package. Remember, they're working on passing this. They've already passed two portions of this, remember, they have to pass this in stages, and they have passed two votes now, 50 to 49, 50 Democrats voting yes, 49 Republicans voting no. One Republican was not there to vote in both of these votes. If all 50 Republicans were there, then the Vice President Kamala Harris would have stepped in for the 51st votes. But nonetheless, first two votes of this have passed so far for the next stimulus package, which will be the largest stimulus package ever. It's currently at $3.5 trillion that it will be negotiated on throughout this package. There's no bill yet. We will be seeing a bill sometime here in the near future and actually seeing some wording and what's going to be in this next package. Here is Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Earlier this year, as you know, we passed the American Rescue Plan, which helped put checks in people's pockets, shots in people's arms, and save small businesses and our economy. Now we're going from rescue to recovery to make the economy, to make the American people's lives even better than it was before COVID, because there were so many structural problems in our economy, and there became a sourness in the land that we very much want to remove. The two-track strategy, which I outlined earlier this year, is moving full steam ahead. When I first said we were going to pass both the bipartisan infrastructure bill and the budget resolution before we broke for the August recess, many said it was an impossible task. But Democrats in the Senate are determined, fiercely determined, to move President Biden's Build Back Better agenda forward. Sometimes it took a little prodding. It took working weekends, late nights, cloture motions. But we kept working at it. I kept prodding the bipartisan group to go forward, pushing them when they needed pushing, giving them more time and breathing space when they needed more time and breathing space. and that bill passed yesterday. But now we have to keep working at it, and I'm very pleased to report that the two-track strategy is right on track.
Now note, it's only the infrastructure package, part one, that is fully passed in the Senate. The stimulus package has gone, the part two, $3.5 trillion package, has gone through 2 votes so far. Remember, they're going to vote in processes here, right? Think of it as kind of portions where they're going to vote through it here. It's gone through 2 votes so far that has passed, but it's not fully passed in the Senate. Trust me, we'll go through this portion together. You'll understand it as they go through. And Republicans are kind of starting to offer amendments here. Now, let me show you kind of what some Republicans are offering as amendments here. Senator Marco Rubio and Senator Josh Hawley are actually offering some cash amendments. Check these out. You can see here, Senator Marco Rubio memo reminds reluctant Republicans that Democratic child allowance is a poverty trap precursor to universal basic income. Senator Marco Rubio is circulating a memo aimed at emboldening Republicans to fight a measure that would distribute even more taxpayer money to non-working parents. In a sign of the time, Senator Marco Rubio, a Republican from Florida, is circulating a memo aimed at emboldening Republicans to fight a measure that would distribute federal money to non-working parents. He's talking about here expanding a new child allowance through the budget reconciliation bill. It criticizes characterizing the Democrats' proposals as expanding the child tax credits when the money goes to parents with zero tax liability who are simply not working at all. And we'll go down here. He says, before this law, parents had to have income in order to receive the child tax credit. Okay, we've talked about this here on the show. Reads Rubio's memo. Under the year-long expansion of the program, remember the child tax credit is only passed for just this 1 year. Parents who have no earned income whatsoever will receive up to $3,000 per child and $3,600 per child under age 6 annually. Parents don't even have to file taxes to receive the credits or the checks or the payments, and may simply sign up online and start receiving the checks. Rubio and Lee made a similar argument against a plan introduced by Senator Mitt Romney in in February, that would provide $4,200 per year for every child up to the age of 6, as well as $3,000 per year for every child ages 6 through 17 via monthly payments. Senator Josh Hawley, you may have remembered him all the way back from the second stimulus check package. Him and Senator Bernie Sanders actually stood up back when Republicans were in charge of the Senate and the presidency under former President Donald Trump, when they worked together to pass the second stimulus check package. Now that it's a little bit different because Democrats control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. Again, I'm not picking sides. I'm just kind of describing to you guys kind of how the political landscape is. Democrats are going to pass this next stimulus check package pretty much without the Republicans. Remember, the first 2 votes, all the Democrats voted yes, 50 Democrats voted yes, and 49 Republicans all voted no. But Republicans are announcing amendments to the budget. As you can see here, Senator Josh Hawley announces 15 amendments to the budgets to pass a parent tax credit, hire 100,000 new police, and reopen schools. Both Senator Marco Rubio and Senator Josh Hawley both have proposed a higher tax credit for children. However, they want to give more money to children, but with a clause that it's only for working families, aka you have to have earned income. You can see here on Josh Hawley's announcement here, it says create a parent tax credit for working families that includes a work requirement and a marriage bonus of 100%. And on another document here, we can actually see here, let me zoom this in. Senator Hawley's legislation creates a fully refundable tax credit of $6,000 for single parents and $12,000 for married parents with qualifying children. This kind of goes with what Senator Marco Rubio, two Republican senators, are kind of proposing as changes for the child tax credits. This would actually put more money into the families of children through the child tax credits, but it would take away all the child tax credits away from families that don't have any earned income. So maybe a stay-at-home mom or a family that maybe has money through Social Security that doesn't have earned income or anything like that. Let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comments. Again, I'm not choosing sides. I'm just kind of letting you know the what's kind of going on with Congress and the proposals between the Democrats and the Republicans. Now, note that the Democrats who passed the third stimulus check package, again, all the Democrats voted yes in the third stimulus check package. All the Republicans voted no. The Democrats passed the third stimulus check package all on their own. They changed the child tax credits to where you didn't need any earned income at all. They made that change in the last stimulus check package. They made that very significant change that families without any earned income at all would receive the child tax credit for the first time. It was never like that before, even though the child tax credit has been around for 23 years. The Democrats have also announced that there will be an adult tax credit in this next package, and an expanded and an extended adult tax credit in this next package. We don't know what that is going to be yet. We do know that a tax credit is basically money in your pocket. It's a check. It could be a tax refund check. It could be a stimulus check. It could be a advanced check, similar to how the child tax credits are. These monthly checks coming out. Remember, a stimulus check is actually a advanced refundable tax credit. That's actually the official name of the stimulus check, is a advanced refundable tax credit. You don't have to file taxes to receive a stimulus check. So you don't need any earned income to actually be eligible for a tax credit. So, and remember, the Democrats actually changed the ruling on the child tax credits, that you don't need any earned income to receive the child tax credits. So, and they have also said that there will be an adult tax credit in this next package. We just don't know what that's going to entail yet, if that's going to be a fourth stimulus check, if that's going to be a tax credit for adults, which we kind of know that because they say it's going to be an adult tax credit. We just don't know how much it's going to be, what the details are going to be on it, if it's going to be on your tax return, if they're going to send it out in advance like a stimulus check would be. We're going to be finding out those details soon. Also, we're getting some more details on how the Democrats, because again, the Democrats are going to be passing this next package on their own, the stimulus package. Democrats introduced a bill aimed on ensuring corporations pay their fair share of taxes. This is going to be one way the Democrats pay for the next stimulus package. Remember that all of the previous stimulus package, all the ones passed under former President Donald Trump, and the third stimulus check package, the first one passed under Biden, nobody really paid for those. There was no tax increases. Nobody really paid for them. They all basically just went onto the national deficit. However, the infrastructure package was mostly paid for. Almost all of it was paid for. And this next package, they're saying, is going to be almost all paid for, if not entirely paid for. We don't know all the details yet. But they are going to be raising taxes on the corporations and the wealthy, the people that make over $400,000. So these next two packages are going to be very different in that they're going to be mostly, if not entirely, paid for. At least that's what they tell us. Congressional Democrats this week introduced legislation that seeks to ensure large corporations pay their fair share of taxes, a measure that they'd like included in the reconciliation package, aka the next stimulus package, they hope to pass without any Republicans in order to raise revenue and pay for this next package. Senator Elizabeth Warren, a Democrat from Massachusetts, and other Democrats, announced a bill also dubbed the Real Corporate Profit Tax Act of 2021. The lawmakers said the measure will ensure the country's biggest companies do not get away with paying nothing in taxes. Quote, companies should not be allowed to continue reporting billions of dollars in profits to shareholders and then turn around and pay nothing in taxes to the IRS. The American people know that's wrong. People in Congress know that's wrong. The President of the United States know that's wrong. Elizabeth Warren said the legislation would help bring an end to corporate double dealing and ensuring large companies pay their fair share so that we can raise essential revenue needed to invest in families and our economy. The lawmakers said the bill, which is also co-sponsored by several other Democrats, will apply to more than 1,000 public companies, all private companies reporting more than $100 million in revenue. Under the bill, which Democrats said would raise roughly $700 billion in revenue over 10 years, a 7% surtax would be implemented per dollar in book income over $100 million. So basically, they're going to charge a 7% tax on income over $100 million to corporations that make over $100 million. In a release detailing the legislation, Warren's office pointed to companies like Amazon, which has faced criticism in the past for paying $0 in corporate taxes in 2018, where they made over $11 billion in profits. That's billion with a B. By the way, this legislation comes a month after Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos says his company supported increasing the corporate tax rate to help foot the bill for President Biden's infrastructure package. So yeah, this bill will be a little bit different than all the past stimulus packages underneath former President Trump and current President Biden that passed the third stimulus check package. Nobody really paid for those. They kind of just passed them and they went to the national deficit. They are going to raise taxes on the corporations and people making over $400,000, and we will be getting more details on that as they get closer to passing these packages, as more details of what will be in these packages as we get more details. So I will keep you up to date on what's going to be in these packages, how they're going to pay for them, and everything in them, and as well as what's going on with our country and daily news that you need to know about. So make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. And remember, new videos come out here on our channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video is new breaking information about how a potential $10,000 stimulus check was called for by a very prominent, previously Democratic presidential candidate in this next stimulus package. So click on one of those videos next to watch them next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.